And I can see people hopping on here. Hello, everyone. I can see the numbers jumping up. Hi, everyone. That means we're live and everything is working. Welcome to our webinar today. Hello. For everyone, as you're just hopping in, if you want to drop us a comment in the chat, maybe tell us who you are and where you're coming from, or maybe also tell us what you do. What has brought you here today? We would love to learn about everyone in the chat. So the chat should be set up for everyone to comment, and if it hasn't, just raise your hand. So this is my way of checking on the chat as well. Thanks everybody for being here. And while people are dropping their names in the chat and letting us know who you are and where you're coming from, I will tell you a little about me and Offering Tree. So I'm Sinead. If you're new to our Offering Tree webinars, I'm usually here, and we try and do these once or twice a month, and we have a range of topics that reflect back to your business. And on that, if you do have a specific topic that you'd like to learn from us about, let us know. This topic today is something that we've had loads of requests for in previous webinars, so we're really, really excited to have Connie here to talk to us about getting more visibility for your business online and in person. So Offering Tree is an all-in-one software for wellness businesses. We are niched to the wellness industry. We have a huge amount of wellness businesses in there: yoga teachers, Pilates, massage therapists, psychologists, you name it. We've got them in the Offering Tree software, and you can run your website, on-demand library, email marketing, scheduling payments, everything in that one place. So I'm going to drop some links in the chat that you can sign up for Offering Tree if you're new to it. I can see everybody joining here. Who do we have? I see Claire in South Florida, putting together my online business, Sweet Bliss Yoga. Oh, I like that name. Michelle from Nova Scotia in Canada. I hope things are good over there. I know they've had a lot of fires. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, by the way. Whereabouts are you, Connie? You're down in the States.
I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I saw Amy's from Omaha just up the street. So we got
cool.
Nebraska represented, which is rare.
We've got Maury from New Orleans, mindful living coach. And hi, Gina from Maryland, teaching yoga for 22 years. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Well, I'm going to pass over to Connie in just a second. I'm going to answer the question that we always get asked. Yes, there will be a replay. It's going to come out to you hopefully within the next couple of hours, as soon as we can get all of that uploaded to the internet. And I'll be here to answer any questions. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat. If you've got questions, throw them in the chat. We're going to be going through them as we work through. And on that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Connie and just mute myself here. Take it away.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me, everyone. Let me get my slides up. Thumbs up, you can see it. Yeah, you good? Okay. All right. I'm so happy that everyone joined today. This is a super fun topic, and I think a super important topic to a lot of wellness professionals, where you're really good at what you do, but you feel like this best kept secret. Like if only more people knew about you, you would have more clients because you can help people and you feel really confident in your ability to help people. So it's with that kind of pain point and that kind of feeling of understanding that we're going to talk today about how to get visibility for your business. Specifically, we're going to talk about 3 different ways. Any of those ways may be something that you feel a little more like you gravitate towards and you feel a little more excited about. And that's why I'm going to share kind of 3 different ways. SEO, I know, is something that people want to know about, and we're going to talk a ton about that. So there's a little intro about me, but I'm a web designer, digital strategist. Pixalitydesign.com is my web design agency. I work primarily with boutique fitness studios and some solopreneurs as well. I'm a boy mom of 4, just outside of Lincoln, Nebraska. And I was a swimmer in college. That's kind of what got me into this niche. I've always really obviously loved fitness, wellness, those types of industries. And I've worked with, at this point, well over 200 wellness professionals and studios on their digital presence and advertising. So that's what brings me here today. And let's go back to why we're all here today. I think you probably realize by now that wellness in general is becoming a more and more competitive market. The days of winning customers just because people refer you, you're the only option in town, you're the closest option potentially, or even you're the best option, those are gone. You can't really just count on word of mouth alone to fill your client rosters, you have to make sure you're out there being visible so people know that they can hire you and know what you stand for and what you can offer them. So today we're going to talk about 3 ways to do that, to get noticed both offline and online and offline. And the way I approach marketing for wellness professionals is a more holistic view of marketing. There's a lot of ways to get noticed. The digital ads, of course, are what people go to most, social media and digital ads, and we're going to talk about that. But this is more of a real holistic view of different ways to get noticed. And so some ways may feel good to you and some ways may not, but we'll look at all of them. And so the 3 big buckets, the 3 S's of getting visibility for your business: search, social, and signage. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we'll start off with search. So these are the clients you want. These are the clients everybody wants, because these are the ones that are actively looking for solutions to the problems you solve. Right? They know they have a problem. They know in most cases that yoga or Pilates or massage or whatever it is may be a potential solution to that problem. And they're out there actively looking for the business or the brand that can solve that problem for them. So that's why we love search. That's why we kick that off, because it's the best clients to get, because the sales conversation is usually really pretty easy. So in order to find those clients, what do? We go where they're actually looking, which in this case is Google for most people. I'm going to talk a lot about Google here because as a search engine, it has 98% or something of the search volume traffic. So if you optimize for Google, you're probably going to be good for all the other types of search engines as well. And Google kind of sets the standard for how to get found in searches. So 97% of people learn more about a local company online than anywhere else. And when I say local company, I know we have a lot of solopreneurs here. We do have some virtual studios as well. I am going to be talking about getting found in your local area. I do have some stuff if you are virtual only. But for those of you who maybe just have virtual businesses, but you also work one-on-one with clients, this totally applies to you too. So this applies to the brick and mortar studios. It also applies to if you just work privately with clients. In any case, 97% of people go online to find out more about a local business. So if they hear about a friend of theirs talking about a personal trainer that they like, they're going to Google you and try and find more information, right? And then 92% of searchers will pick a business off the first page of local search results. So they're not digging into page 2, page 3. That's why being on that first page is important. All right, so in order to show up on that first page, we need to first answer the question, what are real people typing in to find businesses like yours? In the context that you offer some sort of local services, you've got that location modifier. What people are typing in comes in 2 parts. It comes in the location that they're looking in and the service that they want to get found in. So you're not ever going to get found for the search term yoga teacher, right? It's just too broad. There's too many of them. Enter your different modality there. But you have a very good shot of getting found for yoga teacher near me if someone is actually physically near you, or yoga teacher West Omaha, for example. So you do need to combine that location modifier with the service in all the optimization we're doing. Again, if you are looking for local clients, which is the easiest thing to get found for here. We'll talk a second if you don't have any local context at all to your business. But stick with me for the local people. Okay. So once you've got those keywords down that you want to get found for, and in this example, we're using a private yoga teacher. So private yoga instruction, private yoga teacher, that's the service I want to get found for. And then my area for this example is Manhattan. It's a New York City yoga teacher. The first thing you're going to do to try to get visible on that search results page is a Google business profile. So you've seen Google business profiles before. This is an example. Usually it's right next to the map. You get a pin on the map, you get a little Google business profile. It's a property on Google itself. It's not related to your website. It's its own thing right on Google. It's a free profile to create. Anyone with a business can fill it out. It's what's surfaced at the top of the search results page with the pins on the map. So it gets prime placement on that search results page. To claim it or to create a Google business profile, you can do that at google.com/business. It is tied to your physical address. However, like this example here, if you don't have a physical address, you don't have a studio or a public studio space that you want people to know your address, maybe you have a home studio, maybe you go to the place of work, the homes of your clients, that's fine too. You can still have a Google business profile. where you put the address in, you're still going to put your home address because they're going to send you a postcard to make sure that you are legitimate and at that place. But there's a little box you can check that says, I'm a service to area business. And then you say the areas that I serve are, in this example, he put in Manhattan and whatever, some other of the areas, neighborhoods around there. So you can say what services that you, what areas that you service. Think of this type of listing as like a locksmith, right? A locksmith is always going to go to somebody who's locked out of their car or their house. So they have a service to area business that they do. They don't necessarily have a brick and mortar, but it is a local service. So you can apply that to, you're a private Pilates teacher, if you're a massage therapist, if you're a private yoga teacher, those types of things. So even in that case, go get a Google business profile. If you are a studio owner and you have a brick and mortar location, absolutely, this is for you as well. This is not for you. A Google business profile is not for you if you are virtual only, you do not have any local context, you do not meet people in person. Okay. Once you have that Google business profile, give it some love, update the photos on there if you already have a profile. Make sure your description sounds compelling and is written for real people. Mention the service again and the area that you do it. Make sure that if you have hours that they're accurate. There's service listings in there. There's pricing, starting at prices you can put. There's booking link that you can option that you can say, go here to my website to book. Just make sure you click through that Google business profile, give it some love, fill out all the things that you see in there, make it as complete and accurate as possible. Google likes complete and accurate profiles and they will show them higher.
Oh, Karen has a great question on that. Sorry, Connie. If we will move in a year, should we wait to set up the Google profile until we have the new address?
No, you don't need to at all. Do it for the address you have right now. And then you own that profile. If the business name hasn't changed, you can go in and you can change your address. So they will send you a postcard one time to make sure that that is a legit address. If you go in and change the address, they'll send you another postcard and with a code on it. So the postcard is like, here's your magic code. And then you go back into Google and you put that code in just so they know that you received mail there. But you can change that. You can change your address. So you don't have to wait a year at all. It becomes a business asset. And you can also flip back and forth between this is a public address and I'm now service area. I'm not, I don't want to show my address anymore too. So it becomes a business entity. But that also, like, if you do have more than one address, then you're going to have more than one Google business profile. So say you have 3 studios, you'll have 3 different Google business profiles, one with each address on it, right? All right, and then the last thing to keep in mind with these Google business profiles is send your clients there to leave reviews. I know, getting reviews and testimonials that you can put on your website is good just in general, but have them leave it on Google because that also makes you more visible in Google search results. And you can still copy and paste them and put them on your website if you want as well. But ask your clients to leave your reviews. And then when you get a review, go ahead and respond to it too. That shows that you're an active and engaged business owner. Again, Google's got an ego. They like you. They like to know that you care about their property and you're putting some love and some attention into it. So every time someone leaves your review and you respond to it, it just shows that you're an active and engaged business owner. Okay, so that's the low-hanging fruit. That's like step 1 of your getting found. If you have a local context for your business, you want to give that Google business profile some love. The second thing to optimize your online presence is your website SEO. Again, right now, I'm still just talking about the location, people with a local context to their business. If you have a local context to your business, there's 3 things that you need to do on your website homepage. And that is your page title, your heading, and your footer. What needs to be in those 3 things? Your primary service and location needs to be in that page title and header. And then your footer needs to have your name, address, and phone number. And it needs to be on every page of your website, identical on every page of your website, and it needs to match that Google business profile exactly as well. All you're doing here is you're making it really easy for Google to draw the lines between that Google business profile or that pin on the map to your website and say, this is the same business. We are confident this is the same business. And then your credibility goes up because they can put all those assets together as being from your brand. For your page title and your heading, go back to that slide at the very beginning. What is the primary service and what is the location you want to get found for? So for an example, this one, if you look up at the tab at the top of a Chrome browser, you'll see, like in this example, it says Montreal Pilates Studio. Okay, so this is a Pilates studio and it's in Montreal. So we've got our service, Pilates studio, and we have our location, Montreal. And so that's in our page title. The page title is in the back end of the website, someplace depending on your website platform. You can Google where to find that. But to check what your actual page title is, if you go in Chrome browser and you hover over that top tab, you'll be able to see what that is. So you can check if you've got those two important keywords in that page title. And then you want to sneak up primary service and that location, those words in a headline on your page too. Up near the top, you can see this example is your space to practice authentic Pilates in the heart of downtown Montreal. So we didn't just like plop the keywords in and leave it. We actually crafted it into a headline that actually meant something to the viewer as well. But we've got Pilates in there and we've got downtown Montreal in there. We've got both those keyword terms. It's also high up on the page. So a viewer coming to the page, a visitor coming to the page also knows they're in the right place. They know without having to think too much what this business is all about and where it is. Okay. So those things are really important for SEO, but they're also really important for the user experience so that they know they're in the right place. Because guarantee in a lot of cases, your business name, you're not the only one worldwide with that same business name, especially with all the virtual studios out there now. So actually being very clear, yes, this is the Pilates lab in Montreal, is critical for building that trust on your website. And then the last part, that footer, this is example, this is actually just 2 screenshots of the website. There is a lot of stuff in between there. But you can see down here, we have the visit us, we have the name, the address, and we have the phone number. And those match the Google business profile. All right, Shelley asks, is the page title a domain name or is there a place to put this in the Offering Tree website? It is not the domain name. Those are 2 different things. The domain name address, like you can see in this example, this one is mtlpilates.ca. That's their domain name. The page title is what's in the tab up above. And I'll have to get back to you on where that is in the Offering Tree website builder. I'm sure she'll put that up now. But they are 2 separate things. Okay, so now we've talked about optimizing for Google, optimizing your website, optimizing that Google business profile property that you have, those 2 pieces. Then what else is search engines? Because like I mentioned earlier at the beginning, Google's not the only search engine out there. Anything where there's a search bar, that's a search engine. So real common ones that you probably use every day, social media profiles are also search engines. Especially, I don't know if you've seen the map feature in Instagram. This is a screenshot from Instagram. So you can search for businesses on a map and they show up on Instagram like this. Your business will not show up if Instagram doesn't know where your business is. So really important to have your accurate information in your Instagram profile as well. That whole like description, and this goes for YouTube, Twitter, other platforms as well, but any place where you're adding in like your core business information, in Instagram, it's that description area, that's indexable. So that's when someone searches, they're going to actually look through that information to decide whether to show you or not. So again, that primary service and where you're located needs to go in that description of your Instagram profile. Some other local directories, places where you want to make sure that you at least have a listing, your Chamber of Commerce, any industry directories that are relevant. This is going to be different for different people in different towns. But if you have any of these, make sure that your information is accurate in there. That not only makes you surface when people are searching in odd different places, but it also should give a backlink, a link to your website to give that credibility of to Google and anyone else who's looking that you are listed in different places, you're a legitimate business. All right, so now let's talk about virtual only studios. I think we had a few people here that are virtual only. Don't work one-on-one, don't have a local context to my business. I'm just building a virtual only business. This gets a little bigger. This is a bigger challenge for SEO. Local businesses, that local modifier really helps you focus and get a niche and reduces the competition down to a very, a 8 to 20 mile radius, right? That local modifier is your niche positioning. You have a virtual only studio and you want to get found by clients worldwide, nationwide, you need to find a niche, know your niche, and you need to create content for that niche. Because like I said, it's too big of a saturated market to get found for fitness videos online or yoga videos online, right? You're dealing with big media companies who have that type of things and all the free YouTube stuff. So your SEO strategy is going to be a little bit different, and it's going to be around creating niche content, finding out what those niche terms, questions are, and then creating that content for it. That content can be blog post articles, it can be videos on YouTube, it can be podcast content that you then put on your website. There's lots of different ways that you can get that content out there. But if SEO is a strategy for that content, you need to figure out what question you're answering that is getting asked in Google. And I'll show you some examples in a second. So video, I want to say just one thing about video really quick. Google owns YouTube. So if you do have a niche angle to your video content, to your virtual studio, get some videos up on YouTube, because as you've probably seen, if you're searching for things, YouTube videos show up in the search results all by themselves. Google likes showing YouTube videos. So somebody else may have, a whole big site and lots of articles and lots of written content, but if they don't have a video content, your video on that topic could just bump right ahead of them earlier on. And then podcast content is also really great too. But generally with podcast content, you also need to put that on your website, like you would see like a blog that has each episode's post notes, episode notes, the transcript from the episode. You need to get that audio content into words to put on your website for it to be able to rank for SEO. So to blog or not to blog, here's some different things. Whether SEO, the real question here is whether you as a virtual only studio, whether SEO is a strategy for marketing that you want to go down that path or not, or whether you want to work on other networking things like we're going to talk about in the social and the signage section. So if search is a strategy that you want to use for your virtual studio, here would be reasons to do that. If you like writing, if you want to position yourself as an industry leader, if you want to add to the conversation of current events that are going on, I put local events there because this can be used if you have that local context as well to your business. If you want that blog articles, that blog written content to be source content for emails to your community or social media posts or videos, a blog is a good place to just get those thoughts out and get them in writing and get them attached to your name on the internet. And then you can repurpose that into other marketing efforts as well. And then the search aspect of that is if you have a real niche with proven search volume. If you've got something different to say that's not already really saturated on the internet, then you have the possibility to sneak in there and to get found by people looking for those niche things. So again, we're not going for the big volume of, Pilates class online. We're going for more specific things. So reasons not to have a blog. If you hate writing, if everything you want to talk about, there's already, they're saturated topics on the internet, right? There's already a ton of stuff out there and you really can't think of unique angles. The stuff that's already there is going to rank above you. If you prefer video or audio content formats, like I talked about, but you may still need a blog to repurpose that and get it written on the internet. And don't have a blog, don't spend time writing blog articles if you don't have any plan for distributing that content. If you don't want to do social media, if you don't want to do emails, if you don't want to do video, if you don't want to do other ways to share it, just the act of writing an article and putting it on a blog on your website, unless it's got a real niche, answers a really niche question, it's probably not going to get found. So you do have to do that job of promoting that content as well. So here's some examples of kind of some niche content that you may want to become the expert on. And I'm just spitballing here. These aren't for any specific client or anything, but you can get some ideas if you just go to Google and you start typing in. This was really, everyone's talking about ChatGPT and all the AI stuff right now, but Google's been doing it for a long time, right? When they give you those prompts, those little auto prompts of like, oh, do you mean this? How about this? The reason Google is suggesting those things, I just started typing in yoga to help with hypo, and it said yoga to cure hypothyroidism, yoga poses to help hypothyroidism, yoga for neurological problems, blah, blah, blah. It gives you all these suggestions, right? Google is suggesting those because people search for those. So this is a way that you can do a little preliminary research to find out the content you might want to create that might have a niche content opportunity on Google. Just start typing in topics and seeing what it suggests, right? Because Google's not making this up. This is stuff that people have actually typed in to look at some point. It may not be a huge volume. You may not need a whole lot of people if you're the expert on one of these things. This one down here, I typed in beginner kids dance videos at home for TikTok, trying to find kind of niche things. And you can see that in this case, because I specifically asked for videos, here's another shout out to YouTube to get some content on there that specifically is that. But that would be kind of a different niche, right? We're not just a dance fitness studio online. We have an actual niche that we're making kind of longer, more specific search terms. And then, yeah, here's the example of the continuation of this one, this hypothyroidism one. A great way just to start doing research is start finding some topics that you think you can be an expert on, seeing what else is out there. If there's not a whole lot out there, or if what's out there is just kind of like lightweight stuff, that may be an opportunity that you could create some content that could get found on search. And you could start to build up awareness for that specific niche, and then you could upsell them to your virtual studio. So all that to say, with the search, the way to get visible being search, if you have local context, absolutely sit down, do it right now. That's a lot of that optimization can be one and done, and you move on, you are now optimized. Great. If you are virtual only and you don't have any local context to your business, it's a longer game, and it's more of a content strategy game than just a one and done, check the box, I'm optimized for that local area. Cool. All right. So your activity for this section, if you're doing homework after this, is to audit your search signals. What are you getting found already for? Take a look at your homepage title, homepage headline, the name, address, and phone number. If you have multiple locations, make sure each one has its own page, both Google Business Profile and a page on your website. Go check your Google Business Profile. If you don't have one, claim it, start using it, and then check that your social media profiles have both the key information, the key service you want to get found for, and a location if you have a location on that too. There's your checklist to go kind of audit what you're putting out to the world, what you want to get found for. If you're not putting out into the world what you want to get found for, then those people aren't going to be able to find you. Okay, check the chat. Thank you for answering that. Okay, see a whole lot. So we'll move on to the second bucket of ways to get visible, which is social. And so I use this term in a broad way. We're not just talking about social media here. We're talking about ways to connect with people in real life and online. And we will definitely talk about social media. Okay, local collaborations are a great way to get known, really just to pour gasoline on that referral network that you have, right? If you already have some great clients, you already have people who love what you do, that you've seen great transformations for, how can you use that network and grow it a little bit? So co-promotions are one way to do that. What complementary businesses are in your area? Can you partner with somebody to lead an event, yoga in the park, those types of things. Media events too. Look around at your area and see what regular events get media coverage and how can you contribute to those. So you're kind of piggybacking or onto like current headlines. This is also where you could reach out. I use the example in my area in Lincoln, Nebraska, there's a big marathon, the Lincoln Marathon, a half marathon every spring. So in January, everyone starts training. A lot of people start training for the marathon. So there's a lot of running clubs and that type of thing. Then there's also the need for massage and physical therapy and all the things that come along with that too. So if I had a local wellness business in Lincoln, I would look at what type of coverage is the marathon getting, what type of coverage is training for the marathon getting, and can I have a specific package or a specific informational article or something that I can offer up into the communities to just kind of get into that conversation of what's already going on. Next thing is referrals. So if you have clients already, do you make it easy for them to bring a friend, to refer another client? Do you offer incentives for that? What can you do to make it really obvious to them that you do want more clients? For for a lot of businesses, that's all they need. If they really do a great job with referral management, they can grow their in-person clients. Free events is another one. This I see mostly with studios that have a bigger space. But what free events do is it gives you something to talk about on your social media, something to encourage people to bring friends, an excuse to collaborate with other businesses. So these would be out in the community things like yoga in the park, or you could do open house events in your own space if you have one. Giveaways, all that kind of fun stuff. Okay, so you can see there, those were there's things you can do offline that are in the social category. You don't have to do social media, but we're going to talk about social media now. There's two different ways to use social media. There's organic and there's paid. Organic is what we've all done, how we use as users. It's just posting for free on the social media networks. It is all about community building and connecting one-on-one with people. Time is their primary resource there, whether it's content creation, stuff that you're going to post, or it's actually reaching out, commenting, conversations with people in the DMs. It's a time-based requirement to do well at organic. Paid social media advertising, so this would be Facebook, Instagram ads. These are calculated messages to targeted groups of people. So money is the primary resource here. You can get more specific with who you're targeting and what you're saying to them. So two very different mindsets, whether you're going to focus on organic social media or whether you're going to run paid ads. Typically, you also will not find the same person to hire that does both of these well. Most of the time, a social media manager is only going to be focused on that community aspect of the organic. Someone who runs digital ads is only going to be running ads. And you can do one or the other. You can do both at the same time too. But either way, whether it's a paid ad or it's organic post, the big question is, how do you get people to stop and pay attention, right? It's a noisy world out there. Scrolling through your phone, it can get really noisy. The wellness industry is really noisy as well. So here's the key to getting someone to stop. And it's tricky. You spend a lot of time trying to play around and test things. There's no one right answer. But if I had to sum it up to one way to get stopped, it would be to match the message of the post to the audience that you have it in. And so that's getting real specific with how you're talking. This example here, Loop earbuds, I don't know if anyone has them, but they're noise canceling earbuds. It's one product, it's the same product. They have maybe 6 or 7 of these ads. These are just 2 of them. They are selling one product, but you can see how they're talking about it very differently to 2 different groups of people. The one on the left, reduce the noise, enjoy the ride, as a motorcycle rider. The ad itself says, protect your ears without compromising on comfort, excitement, and safety. You can tell that they know exactly who that audience is, that person is that buys them because they're a motorcycle rider. And you can tell how they're talking to them. The image reflects that as well. On the other side, it says, reduce the noise, remain calm, spend more fun time with your kids, reduce the noise, not the love. And it's a picture of a mom with young children, right? Again, same product, but the way they're talking about it, the pain points that they know about their clients, their customers who are buying it are so very different, right? And they have several more of these with different client personas. So what I'm going to challenge you to do with this, if you really want to stop people scroll and you want people to pay attention, how specific can you get talking about what you do? And I know somebody's like, yeah, but I can help everyone, right? What I do helps everyone. Anyone I can help. Great. So does this product as well too, but they have different content, different ads, different posts that talk specifically to different people. So can you get real specific? Not every post has to talk to every person. Your collection of content out there should talk to everyone you want to talk to, but not every post has to be watered down enough that it applies to everybody. So challenge you to do that with whatever content you're creating, whether it's ads, social media posts, whether it's like we talked about, blog articles, podcast episodes, videos. How specific can you get? And you'll resonate more with people and you'll get known for something. And you'll cut through the noise of everyone else who's trying to just be generic enough so they apply to everyone. Okay, so that was the social kind of aspect. More ideas there than tangible how-tos. But what that all comes down to is you're out in the world connecting with other people, whether it's in real life or online. They are, that stat from the very beginning, they are most likely going to come back to your website. That's where they're going to learn more about you and decide if they want to engage with you. So does your website connect? Once you've done all that work out connecting with people, does your website continue that connection? So is your path from social media to your website clear? That's another thing to go check in your social media profiles. Do you link to your website? Do you say, get started here and link to your website? Is that path very clear? Do you ever talk about, even if you're doing social media and you're putting content out there, do you ever actually do a post that says, hey, you can work with me, here's how? Now you shouldn't do those posts, that type of content all the time, right? Because then you're just a sales machine. But you need to, every once in a while, have one that's very direct and very clear about how people can work with you. Number two of the kind of checking whether your website connects is the path to becoming a new client clear once people get to your website. Or is it just a lot of information about you and your services and your pricing's over here? Is it just really information heavy? Or do you have very clear call to actions? Get started by filling out this form. Get started by buying your intro offer. Book your first class for free, those types of things. Make sure that's very clear on every page of your website. So if they're digging in and they're reading things, at any point in time, they decide, I want to work with this person. I want to work with this studio. What can they click on to actually make that happen? Don't make them hunt for it, because in most cases, they'll say, I can't find it, I'll come back later, and they won't come back later, right? All right, and then the kind of squishy stuff on whether your website connects. Are you using real photos of your studio space, of yourself, or are you relying on stock? And massage therapists, physical therapists, I know they're like the worst at this because it's uncomfortable to try to get photos of those type of more sensitive services. But if you have a brick and mortar location and you're using stock photos, that's a trust killer right there, right? Because people know if it's a stock photo and they are not going to trust that. They want to see the place they're going to walk into. So you need to have some real photos of you, of your location. Online virtual classes, there's only so many virtual stock photos out there. So they have probably seen them on a lot of other brands. And if you can slap somebody else's logo on your website and no one can tell the difference, you're not connecting with people. You're not connecting in a different way to make you cut above the noise and get visible and get found. So I really think having a branded photo shoot is worth your time. And then messaging is that last piece of there. Is your messaging, going back to that, is your social media stuff sticky, but is your content, your messaging on your website, is it different? Is it different at all than any of your competitors? Or could you slap their logo on from somebody else and it would be just fine? It would pass for it. So how specific can you get with that messaging? And how can you make it connect with the right people and to help you stand out from all the other options that they're looking at? Okay, last part here is signage. So we've talked about search, social, and now this last one is signage. Most of this is for people with a local context for sure, because it's tangible, real signage. I do have some digital options though that we'll hit towards the end. So signage is old school, right? It's classic, but it's effective. It can amplify a good location or it can help a bad one. And in reality, it's one of the most cost-effective ways to do marketing because it's usually an initial investment in the signage and then it lasts for a long time. You're not putting money month after month into content creation and into paid ads or anything. So it is worth looking at and thinking through some new ideas possibly that you haven't thought of. Okay, so brick and mortar locations. You've got your classic sidewalk sandwich board signs, this way to karma, that's one. The one in the middle, I really like this one. This is in my hometown. This is at on the back of a bathroom stalls in the women's bathrooms. So right, you have a captive audience, they're gonna look at it. It's at the indoor sports facility that my kids go to, and I'm there every weekend for basketball or indoor soccer, right? So if your ideal client is a 40-something mom with kids in competitive sports, you are now putting your business right in front of them every weekend, right? So I don't know, this was a nail spa. I don't know how much they paid for those placements or how much that cost. But it's they also have a mention this ad and receive $5 off your service, right? It's pretty effective, at least for getting noticed, and probably a pretty inexpensive way. But they had to know to do that they need to kind of look at those opportunities of who their people are and where they are and how they can get in front of them. The last one is a yoga studio client of mine. They're in Lexington, and she actually did a billboard. I've had a couple people look into that and say, oh, they're not that as expensive as I thought they were. So especially if you have a studio location, look into some things like that. Billboards. She does it. It's a college town, and so she does it when all the college kids are coming back, and puts it option to do it year round. But just kind of some ideas for traditional signage to make work for you. And then this is, I think, a good take on like modern signage. Some of the best brands that I've seen on social media all tend to have these lobby selfie walls or Instagrammable walls. So if you have a brick and mortar location, and it doesn't have to be a big one, if you can have a little space, it's always where the best natural light is, because everyone likes taking a picture when they look the best. But what this does is it makes your clients your brand ambassadors for you, because if they want to take a picture in front of it, what are they going to do with it? They're going to post it on their own social media, and they're going to tag your business. And that gets people interested in what that beautiful place is that they were at. So neon signs are real popular. Wood sign over here, relax, rejuvenate, renew. It's all good, that neon sign. This one is also really fun with the cactus and the 2 hanging chairs. It's just like a super cute area, right? And then also murals are fun, right? Anything with angel wings, people love. So if you can find a fun space of a wall that has good light, and actually use it for promotional pictures like this. The point I want to make here, though, is you'll notice none of these are the business logo. They're not branded walls and that they're like a blatant, here's our logo, I'm at this business. They're all something that their clients mean something to them, that they want to take a picture in front of and share because it means something about them. So you can tap into that for your clients, and just make something that they identify with. That's where the lobby selfie wall really has some power. And then kind of another iteration of, I think, what modern signage is going, Instagram stickers. And this applies to you even if you don't have a local business, if you're virtual only. I think this is, I'm not seeing a whole lot of this yet, but I think this is going to just continue to be a thing as the social media platforms adjust. Everyone loves stories, those like really casual videos, postings. And when you go in, you can add little stickers and fun stuff like that. Well, did you know you can have your own brand Giphy channel? It's free. You can publish it. If they publish it as a brand channel, then anyone looking on Instagram can find your stickers and add them to their stories. So on the left, there's an example. SoulCycle does a great job of this, as you might imagine. So that's SoulCycle's Giphy channel. And you can see kind of all the love lives here. Your love belongs here. It's Pride Month too, which is why a lot of that stuff is on the top. But you can also see there are like more static stuff if you scroll down too. But on the same note as those lobby selfie walls, these are all things that, yes, are branded to their business, but it says more about what they want to be known for and the brand messaging that they have. So they make these cute stickers. You upload them to a Giphy channel. They approve the channel. You have to have 5 stickers to apply to be an official brand channel. And then this is a screenshot from my phone. So if I was creating a story, I could search SoulCycle and find and add any of their stickers. Here's an example. I don't know this person, but she's a yoga teacher. And she's done the same thing with a Giphy brand channel. She's got little gifs of herself and some like doing moves and stuff. It's a public brand channel because I found it on Instagram as well. So Offering Tree should probably do this too. But it's a real fun, I think, way, especially if you have a niche business or you have something, you really have very clear brand messaging. You've got like a movement that's kind of part of your brand that you want to be known for. By putting out a Instagram sticker channel, a Giphy channel, you can get other people to start using them, and you can start just gaining visibility for what you want to talk about and what you want to be known for. So again, Giphy channel is free. It'll take you some effort to create all this, but you can create them all in Canva or with other free tools. All right, wrapping up with the signage here. QR codes are back, right? Everyone's seen that at restaurants. Everyone's used to doing QR codes now. So how can you use QR codes as signage for your business? This example here, leave us a review on Google. That's a physical thing when people are, checking out. That was at a front desk. Signs for your intro specials with a QR code. You can put that on your wall or outside your business. This one's an actual glass door sticker that goes to their class schedule. So lots of different creative ideas you can do here. If you do have a poster, flyer boards, giving away something free like that lead magnet, if you have a Spotify playlist or a guided meditation, especially if it's someplace where they're sitting for a few minutes, they're waiting, and say, hey, have a few minutes, do this 5-minute guided meditation. You can send that to a page on your website where they enter their email information, or you could just give it away straight for free and hope that they put a little call to action at the end to come follow you on Instagram or learn more about you. So lots of creative things you can do. QR codes are great because they bridge that in real life tangible world to the digital world where you can make clients and track them and get them into your online marketing. It's a good in between now. All right, so to wrap up that signage one, like I was just saying, with the signage, you probably want to connect that offline experience to online because that's where they can book and buy from you. So think about if you're using a QR code or a link out there, where from like Instagram, from social media, where will you send those people? Are you going to dump them on your homepage? Or are you going to create a special page on your website that just has information about that specific offer that they clicked on or that they scanned? A landing page is usually a pretty good idea there. It's a focus page with one goal where that prospective buyer can get all the information they need to make the informed buying decision. So I recommend having a landing page, and here's an example from Dance Dynamics for like new clients. So from your Instagram profile or whatever, you say, get started with 21 days for $59. And it goes to this page where it tells them everything they need to know about that offer. It's got beginner testimonials. It's got some frequently asked questions that walks them through, but it's really having that sales conversation, having that asset ready so that you can have that virtual sales conversation with them wherever they find your link. So consider adding or improving your Start Here page or your beginner page to be more of a sales conversation. Karen asks, can you suggest a free QR code website? Do we pay for QR codes? Yeah, if you use Canva, Canva's an online graphic design tool. There's a free QR code generator in there. All you have to do is go on the left to apps and go QR code, and then you just type in your website and it'll spit out the QR code. The QR code is just a graphic, like a graphic link that people could scan. So I highly recommend using Canva. I believe they have a free plan. Canva Pro is well worth the money if you're making postcards, flyers, if you have a business, social media graphics, all of those things. And there's a free QR code generator within Canva. What's the difference between a landing page and a home page? That is a great question. A landing page typically only has one action that you want them to do. So a home page is, here's all the things that you can do with my business, kind of a little preview sample, like I'm in the right place. These are the types of things I can do with this business. And then people will typically move off from the homepage to whatever they're interested in. So usually home pages, you're going to have a little preview. We have group classes, we have private instructions, we host retreats, and then they would pop off to those pages. A landing page is usually more one offer, one thing that you're making them make a decision on. So in that case, it's, our intro offer, 21 days for $49. Buy it, buy it, buy it. That's the only thing on that page. It's the specific offer that you're giving all the information, whether they're going to make that one choice or not. Your home page is usually more introductory to your business. If you have other questions on that, I could talk a long time about landing pages. So, all right. So just to wrap up here, the quick wins out of all that stuff I just talked about, these are the 3 quick wins that I think if you sat down, spent just a few minutes doing, would move the needle for your business. Lots of other things that you can work on long-term, but building out or claiming that Google business profile. Just do it. It'll make your business better for the long term, and it will not take that long for you to do. Optimizing your website homepage, especially if you have a local context to your business, make sure you get your local information on your website homepage in those 3 places that I talked about. And then optimizing your social media profiles, just giving it a big picture look and saying, if I found me on social media, whatever I'm doing here, is it clear that someone can hire me? Is it clear how to go about hiring me? What are the next steps? Is that obvious? If it's not, make them obvious and put them up either in those pinned posts at the top or the description, whatever platform you're on. I'm thinking Instagram, obviously, but yeah, give it a good look and just make sure that it is being very obvious that you are hireable. And that's all I have, with 10 more minutes for questions. But if you want to connect with me more, Instagram at Pixality Design. I do a lot of content there, free content. That's a great place to learn more about me. I work mostly with brick and mortar boutique fitness and wellness studios. And if you're interested in a website design, pixalitydesign.com to check out those services. And that's my email as well. Right.
Thank you, Connie. This was awesome. Shelley's asked a question: is a landing page different from a domain name?
Yeah. So a domain name is here. I can just show some examples. Let's see. Let's pull up. Just off the top of my head. So does it actually require a different domain name? It requires a different URL, but not domain name. No, you don't. So yeah, domain name here, for example, this is pranayogacenter.com. That's your domain. All these different pages on her website are URLs. So this is her, what I would say her landing page or new client landing page, pranayogacenter.com/new to prana yoga. So this is a URL, the whole address. The domain is just the pranayogacenter.com. So it's just that core thing. You only need to buy one domain. It's your business.com. But you do want to have different pages of your website that have different functions, that have different URLs. That makes sense? Does that answer your question, Shelley?
I think so.
We'll have different landing pages within the website. Correct. Yes. So, I mean, don't get too hung up on the terminology of a landing page. You'll hear it, landing page, splash page, sales page. They can all mean generally the same thing. A landing page is really just like, I have one goal on this page. And that's a landing page could be a page just about, I want you to subscribe to my newsletter. And the goal of that page is the form that they fill out there. In this case, I would call this a landing page because the goal throughout this whole page is get our new student offer. Here's a testimonial about it. Here's why you would look and feel better in 30 days. Here's why you should practice with us. That's kind of a long one. Here's some frequently asked questions about getting started with that new student offer. There's more beginner testimonials. And then here's that again. But you can see I'm not talking about retreats on this page. I'm not talking about workshops. I'm not even really talking about class descriptions or a whole lot about the studio. This one page is everything people need to know to buy this one thing. And that's really all landing page is. So don't get too hung up in the terminology. Is it one that we don't publish on our website, but we can direct people to through URL and advertising? Yes, absolutely. It can be. It can be either or. So yes or no, it can be published in your live. Like this example, we do have this landing page is published in the navigation. It's the new to prana yoga. So it is a page, but I believe we probably have other pages. See if I can find one just off of memory. Yeah, so here's one. So this one, pranayogacenter.com/start is a different URL, but it's just on the back end of our website. It's not linked up in the navigation. I just typed it in to get to it. So this is the page that we use to run ads to. So they could still get to the other pages on our website, but it is a little more, the reason this is one a little different is it's just a little more streamlined. So we're running ads to this page. It's similar to, but this one is the one that's active. So yes, it can be either or, yeah. So that didn't complicate it even more, but. All right.
That's perfect. Yeah, I've made so many notes here. And you've inspired me to want to go and completely refresh my website, Connie, because I'm like, I need to do all these things. Yeah, Luna says, great example. It's so good. I never realized the selfie wall in a studio. I'm like, yeah, my local studio has that. And the idea that there's no brand in there, that you just have this space. It's so smart. There's so many ideas.
If you start, like looking around on Instagram, spin studios, cycle studios do a great job at it for some reason. And then fitness studios, you'll seen it more and more, but I think it's super fun. And I was just talking to some other studio owners and they're like, the one, I mean, it has to be the best natural light. Like that's where everyone wants to take their picture because you look the best. So that's a fun one. And Shelley had asked, is there a way to track where people are coming from or how they found you by different landing pages? Yes, absolutely. I'm not sure really what Offering Tree does as far as analytics, but there should be, if you add Google Analytics to it, you can see what traffic, at least the quantity of traffic that is coming to each page. And if you're only using that page, like that one example that I used, that we're using just for ads, and people are only coming to that from the ads, then that the ads are working or not working, depending on what the traffic to is at. So Google Analytics can tell you that. Tracking is a little more difficult now with all the iOS privacy information, to where you can't necessarily see one person, like this person clicked on the ad, then they went to this page on my website, and then they made a purchase. Can't really do that anymore, but you can see general numbers. This page is getting a bunch of action and we're running ads to it, or this page is only accessible from our Instagram profile and a lot of people are going to it. So that means what we're doing on Instagram is working, right? So you can see the bigger trends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Shelley's saying, this is so great. Thanks for sharing everything today. I completely agree with that. There's been so much here, Connie. This is fantastic. And things that I didn't realize, like especially how to get people to kind of pause on your social media, has given me ideas, because you're right. I teach yoga for pelvic health, so I'm quite broad ranging with my social media, and I've even ran ads that just haven't worked. So I'm like, oh, that's why, because I need to kind of really target the certain type of person that I'm aiming for that. That's awesome.
That sounds like a great niche. Yeah, that's a different one. And now once you kind of have seen that too, I also encourage people to, like, as you're scrolling social media, start paying attention to like what stops your scroll, and just start seeing those patterns. Like, is it colors? Is it because it was specific and it called you out and you're like, oh, that is me? Like, and then just try and replicate that. It's a constantly evolving platform.
Yeah. And Eddie's just shared in the chat there how to add Google Analytics to Offering Tree. So the link's there, and I'm going to share all these links that we've got in the chat. Will all be in the replay email as well, so that anyone here for the replay can see those. But yeah, thank you so much for this, Connie. It was absolutely brilliant, and we really appreciate you sharing all this wisdom with us and helping everyone get a bit more visible online. So everyone, just share with us how it's gone for you when you're watching this or watching the replay. We'd love to see on social media or in the Offering Tree community how you've created more visibility around your own website and your own business. So thanks, Connie.
Love to see it. Yeah, and if you've got a great photo wall, I'd love to see it. Tag me on Instagram. Show it to me. I love seeing those. I have a little collection of them. For fun.
I'm just going to share your information again down here, just in case anybody missed it above. And that's where you can find Connie on Instagram and her website. So thanks very much, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thanks again, Connie. And we'll see you all at the next webinar, which is coming up on July 18th. The next one's with Amanda McKinney, and it's all about setting realistic goals. So we'll see people there. And Connie, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.